What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and I'm here today to review the latest installment in the VHS franchise. It's on Shudder right now exclusively, and it's called VHS 99. Now, I love these movies. It's definitely a franchise at this point. I think this is number 5, I believe. Yeah, it's number 5 because we had VHS 1, 2, Viral, last year's 94, and then we're here at 99. Yep, so it's 5. I'm gonna tell you like this. They can make these for every year. Any year they pick, they can make 20 more, and guess who's gonna be there to watch every single one of them? And guess who's gonna talk about every single one of them? Some are better than others, of course. To me, the low point of the franchise as far as been Viral, but even with that one, it's still entertaining. You can find something out of that movie, regardless of if you like just one segment or all of them. And I feel like this one is the same way, you know, nothing bad I can say. Of course, there are gonna be some that don't work, and I'm gonna get into the ones that kind of didn't work for me, and then the ones that excelled. But overall, good ass time, man. I think they have definitely mastered the found footage, and I think that they have raised the bar every single film and taken it to different heights. And again, like I said, there are some on here that like really blew me away, masterfully crafted. Like even just taking small concepts and just putting them on screen in this format just makes it completely different. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Now, this one differs than the rest of the VHS franchise movies because usually there's like an overarching story outside of the videos being watched, but you know, this one doesn't tie any of them together. It's just segment, and that threw me for a loop at first because I was expecting to have something overall, but it doesn't really do that. It doesn't make it bad either. I actually like it just like that. So the first segment kind of threw me off because it's about a rock band, and the people in the video are referencing another rock band, and they actually splice in footage of that rock band. So I kind of was thrown off because some of the people kind of look alike, and I was just like, don't really know where this is headed. And even the reasoning behind what happens was a little bit paper thin for me. But when the horror gets rolling, it takes it there, and it also takes a page out of a movie, another found footage movie called Behind the Mask. I think Vern Troyer or something like that, Vernon something, but it's called Behind the Mask. They take a page out of that book when the horror hits, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It flips the way we see VHS on its head, and to be real, they did something like this on VHS 2. I'm not gonna say what segment it is because I don't want to spoil it, but when it hits, it hits. Second story, this one out of all of them was the real kind of like one for me. I'm not gonna go in detail about what it's about, but I think it presents this idea of like a curse, if you will, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it just didn't connect that well with me for whatever reason. I thought it was cool when the horror stuff did hit again because, you know, with found footage, it intensifies everything. Every element of horror that happens, it just makes it, you know, takes it to a different level. So it does do that, but the way the story unfolds and what it's about was just like, But like I said, those two were the only ones that had areas of like, Everything else, the other three, oh boy. This next one in this movie, it's about like a 90s TV show. I will say that. Like it plays with that concept, and the twist happens in a way that you really won't expect. I mean, it starts out regular, and then something happens, and it's just like, holy sh! Like this just took it up to a whole different level, and you're just watching like. And then it hits another twist that just takes it to a whole different sadistic level. And from that point on, it takes it to another twist that happens that's crazy. And when this segment ends and the last frame is there, you're just left like in your seat, like looking to the sky, like what in the hell? So that one is dope, the game show. And that's all I'm gonna say. And it sounds really, really vague, but trust me, when you see it, the next short follows these group of kids who have a camcorder. It's like a group of teenagers, and they're pretty much running around, you know, skateboarding and recording all these things. And there's a neighbor that's in the same cul-de-sac as them, and I'm just gonna say they're watching this neighbor, and something happens, and it's something that we're familiar with, but we've never ever seen it in a found footage format, and that just makes it totally different. Like when it hits, it just made me just stop. Like, is that who I think it is? And sure enough, it's that. I'm just saying that it's about a legend that we all know about, but we've never seen it presented like this. So dope. In the very last segment of the movie, oh boy, it's about possession. It's about demonic sacrifice. But we've seen this before, right? Yes, we've seen it before, but this tackles the subject in a way I have never seen it done. Ever seen it done, and it blew me away when I kind of figured out what the hell was going on. You're presented with the concept of what's going on, and you're like, okay. And then, right as you're getting comfortable, literally, the world gets flipped on its head, and you're just kind of like, what is going on? Like, what's happening? As the story plays out and continues, things are hinted at, and you're kind of like, no way, there's no way possible this is what this actually is. And like I said, as the short keeps going, you're like, okay, this might be what it is, and then something really happens. And it just... and at the end, when the reversion of what happened at the beginning of the short comes to fruition, it just hits in a way that's like, they really flipped the game with the concept of demonic possession. It like, whoever wrote this, kudos, because this was creative as hell. I mean, super creative. I hope they make a movie out of that idea, because that idea would be stellar to expound upon. Like, if they could take this, build it out some more, and make a movie around it. And here, the reason why it's so effective even more. Like I said, the concept is so creative, but the fact that they were able to capture it with the found footage style of shooting just makes it even more so. Like, how did they do this? Like it left me in awe like that. So, as you can see, VHS 99 is a good ass time. If you have Shudder, go ahead and do yourself a favor and watch it. This is entering the favorites of the year, and VHS, they never let me down. I know once these drop, I'm gonna have a fun ass time. So I'm even looking forward to the one next year, VHS 85. Like, crank them out. Like, I would love to see VHS 74 or however the hell you can do it. I want to see all of these, yo. Like, the creative juices just flow all through these films. Kudos to all the directors, the writers, the cinematographers. Fantastic job. You know what I mean? Perfect to watch this October. Go ahead and give it a watch, man. But anyway, like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.